You are 8 years old. The harbor smells like fish guts, wet rope, and old blood. Cilicia, southern coast of Anatolia. Rome calls this region civilized. Rome has clearly never walked these docks after dark. Your father repairs ships for men who never give real names. Long black hulls slide into the harbor at night with broken masts and stolen cargo. Silver disappears into hidden rooms beneath taverns. Prisoners disappear too. You learn quickly that the sea has two kinds of men, the ones who obey laws written in Rome and the ones who make fortunes ignoring them. You watch pirates return from raids dressed in purple silks, stripped from merchant corpses, gold chains around their wrists, foreign women beside them. Everyone in the harbor fears them. Everyone in the harbor secretly wants to become them. At night, you lie awake listening to drunken sailors sing about storms and massacres beyond the horizon. You decide very early that fear is better than hunger. Level 2, the auction block. You are 13. Rome's tax collectors arrive with soldiers behind them. Your village failed to pay grain quotas after a dry season. The collectors do not care. They drag families into the square one by one. Debtors become property. Your mother screams as your younger sister is chained beside strangers, bound for slave markets overseas. You lunge forward. A soldier smashes the butt of a spear into your mouth, hard enough to crack teeth loose into the dirt. Blood fills your tongue. A pirate captain watches the entire thing from horseback near the docks. Thick beard, gold rings through both ears, scars across his knuckles. When the auction begins, he buys you. Not out of mercy. You are cheap labor for an awed warship. That night, chained beneath the deck beside criminals and prisoners, you hear the sea hammering the hull overhead. You are no longer a child. Rome made sure of that. Level 3, the oars. You are 15. Your hands split open every morning before sunrise. The pirate galley moves like a living beast across black water. 100 men chained to benches pulling massive oars until shoulders tear apart from exhaustion. Anyone who slows down gets whipped. Anyone who collapses gets thrown overboard. You survive because you study. You study navigation, wind patterns, coastlines, how captains command fear, how crews obey strength faster than kindness. At night, older pirates gamble with stolen coins under lantern light. They tell stories about Rome, fat senators eating peacock tongues while villages starve, merchant ships carrying gold protected by terrified teenage soldiers, Roman governors so corrupt they secretly pay pirates to attack their rivals. You realize something important. Rome isn't powerful because it's righteous. Rome is powerful because everyone else is weaker. That means Rome can bleed. Level 4, the first fire. You are 18. The moon hangs low over the Aegean Sea. Your captain orders silence as 3 pirate ships drift toward a Roman grain convoy moving toward Greece. You smell pitch before the attack begins. Flaming arrows arc across the dark. One Roman ship erupts instantly. Fire races along tarred ropes and explodes up the mast. Soldiers scream as burning sailcloth collapses onto the deck. You board the second ship with an axe in your hands. Everything becomes noise. Wood splintering, men choking on smoke, steel smashing through bone. A Roman marine lunges at you with a short sword. You bury the axe into his throat hard enough to feel the blade scrape spine. He drops twitching at your feet. You stare at the body for half a second too long. The captain grabs your shoulder and screams directly into your face. "Move or die!" So you move. By sunrise, the convoy is gone. Thousands of tons of grain sink beneath the waves. Athens riots 3 weeks later from food shortages. One pirate raid. One starving city. You begin to understand how fragile empires really are. Level 5. The Black Fleet. You are 22. Your captain is dead. A knife entered beneath his ribs during a drunken argument over silver division. Half the crew backed the killer. The other half backed you. By dawn, the deck is covered in bodies. The survivors kneel before you while gulls circle overhead, picking flesh from the dead. You rename the fleet that morning, the Black Fleet. No flags, no nation, no mercy. Your ships move faster than Roman patrol vessels because you strip them down for speed. You recruit escaped slaves, deserters, murderers, exiles. Men with nowhere else to go fight hardest because defeat means returning to chains. Within 2 years, merchant captains begin abandoning entire shipping lanes after sunset. Insurance prices in Rome triple. Temples pray publicly for protection from pirates. Privately, senators begin paying you not to attack their cargo. You are becoming rich enough to embarrass the Republic itself. Rome hates embarrassment more than murder. Level 6, the noble hostage. You are 27. The sea is calm when your scouts intercept a small Roman vessel near the island of Pharmacusa. At first, it looks unimportant. Then you see the passengers. Young aristocrats dressed in expensive white linen, tutors, servants, guards carrying polished Roman blades. One prisoner stands out immediately. Tall, calm, annoyingly calm. Even chained on your deck, he looks more irritated than frightened. He introduces himself like everyone should already know the name. Julius Caesar. You demand 20 talents of silver for ransom. He laughs directly in your face. 20? I'm worth at least 50. Your crew bursts into laughter. You almost kill him for the insult. Instead, you keep him alive because something about him unsettles you. Most prisoners beg, some rage. Caesar behaves like a man temporarily inconvenienced. He recites poetry during meals, corrects your grammar, complains when pirates interrupt his sleep. Then one night, standing beneath torchlight beside the mast, he says something quietly enough that only you hear it. When Rome finally catches you, they'll crucify every man on these ships. You step closer until your forehead nearly touches his. And what will they do to you? Caesar smiles. That depends how quickly I become Rome. For the first time in years, you feel something unfamiliar crawl beneath your ribs. Not fear, recognition. Level 7, the warning. You are 28. The ransom arrives. 50 talents exactly. Before Caesar leaves the ship, he turns toward your crew one final time. You should run. Some pirates laugh. You don't. 3 weeks later, Roman warships appear at dawn. Not random patrol ships, hunting ships. Fast, organized, purposeful. Caesar came back exactly like he promised. The battle is chaos from the first collision. Roman rams punch through hulls. Flaming oil explodes across decks. Men burn alive, screaming prayers into smoke. Your flagship manages to break through the blockade near sunset, but half the fleet sinks behind you. You escape into open sea with fewer than 300 survivors. That night, staring across dark water illuminated by distant burning wreckage, you realize the truth. Rome finally noticed you, and Rome never stops hunting once it notices something. Level 8, the Nightmare Coast. You are 31. Every harbor along the Mediterranean whispers your name now. Roman merchants refuse to sail without military escort. Entire coastal towns pay you protection money before you even arrive. Children are threatened with your name to force obedience. Sleep or the Black Fleet comes. The Senate calls emergency meetings about piracy nearly every month. But Rome has a problem. Pirates are everywhere. Cilicia, Crete, Sicily, Sardinia. Destroy one fleet and 2 more appear somewhere else. Because piracy is no longer crime. It's industry. Tens of thousands depend on it now. Shipbuilders, smugglers, corrupt governors, slave traders, dock officials, even Roman businessmen secretly profit from stolen cargo. You built something bigger than yourself, a shadow economy stretching across the entire sea. Then Rome appoints one man to end it, Pompey Magnus, Pompey the Great, and unlike the senators, Pompey understands something critical. You cannot negotiate with a storm. You have to erase it. Level 9, the Iron Net. You are 34. Pompey moves faster than anyone believed possible. He divides the Mediterranean into sectors, 40 separate fleets, 500 warships, over 100,000 soldiers and sailors. Harbor by harbor, island by island, he squeezes the sea shut like a tightening fist. Pirate hideouts burn day and night. Captured captains line roads nailed to crosses. Roman engineers build watchtowers along entire coastlines. For the first time in your life, there is nowhere left to disappear. You try anyway. Your fleet slips through storms, hides inside sea caves, attacks isolated supply ships. But every month the circle gets smaller. One evening near Crete, your scout ship returns carrying terrible news. Pompey has offered pardons, land, citizenship, freedom from execution. Thousands of pirates surrender immediately, not because they fear death, because they are tired. Tired men are more dangerous to an outlaw empire than enemy swords. Your officers argue all night. Fight or surrender. Escape east or die west. Then someone asks the question nobody wants answered. What happens if Rome wins? Silence fills the cabin, because deep down, every man already knows. Rome always wins eventually. The only uncertainty is how much blood it spills first. Level 10, the Burning Sea. You are 36. The final battle begins before sunrise near the Cilician coast where your life first started. The sea itself looks black beneath storm clouds. Pompey's fleet appears across the horizon like a moving wall of wood and bronze. Hundreds of ships, more than you thought Rome could even build. Your remaining captains stand beside you in silence. Old men now, scarred men, men who survived 20 years at sea, only to arrive here. The first collision shakes your entire ship. Roman marines pour across the rails. Arrows darken the sky. You fight through smoke so thick your eyes stream tears. A Roman soldier drives a spear through your shoulder. You break his jaw with the hilt of your sword before throwing him overboard. Another pirate captain dies beside you with an arrow through his eye. Fire spreads deck to deck across the waves until entire ships become floating furnaces. The smell is unbearable. Burning pitch, salt water, cooked flesh. By midday, the Black Fleet no longer exists as a fleet, only isolated wrecks and dying men. You finally understand what it feels like to stand before an empire using its full strength. It feels like drowning beneath history itself. Level 11, the choice. You are still 36. Your flagship drifts crippled beside shattered wreckage. Roman ships surround you from every direction. Your surviving crew waits for orders. Some want to fight to the death. Some want surrender. You stare across the water toward Pompey's command ship. The banners of Rome snap violently in storm wind. For years, you convinced yourself Rome was corrupt, fragile, decadent. And it was. But empires survive corruption when they possess something stronger underneath. Structure, discipline, patience. You built fear. Rome built permanence. That is the difference. You order the swords lowered. Several pirates scream at you in disbelief. One tries attacking a Roman vessel alone. Arrows turn him into a corpse before he reaches halfway across the water. The rest kneel slowly, not to Rome, to inevitability. Level 12, the inland prison. You are 40. Pompey keeps his promise. No crucifixion, no execution. Rome resettles surrendered pirates inland far from the sea, where they can no longer raid ships. You spend your days farming dry land beneath a sun that feels wrong without salt air. At night, former pirates sit beside fires, telling stories nobody inland believes. Stories about black sails appearing through fog, about cities starving because one convoy vanished, about a young Julius Caesar threatening pirates before he ruled the world. Years pass. Rome grows richer, stronger. The sea becomes Roman again, safe, ordered, controlled. Children born after the pirate wars will never understand what the Mediterranean once felt like after dark. But you remember. You remember because for one brief violent stretch of history, the greatest empire on earth feared the horizon itself. And the worst part? You almost made Rome blink. Almost. Now the sea belongs to someone else. And now you are history.